Hello! Happy Saturday! I was having a conversation today with an ex-boyfriend, and I had the opportunity to clear some things. Like after things ended, I said some mean things because I was hurt. And it just, like being able to have a conversation on that level reminded me of how far I have come on my journey. Not, I don't know, I remember probably 10 years ago, even less than that, when I wore so many masks. I wore the mask of funny, like ha ha ha, everything's a joke, nothing gets to me. I wore the mask of tough, you know. Like I don't know, long story short, like I'm the youngest and I have two older brothers, and became accustomed to pretending like nothing bothers me, nothing hurts me, I can take anything. And over the years, I've learned to take off more and more layers, more masks. And for me, it is very, very courageous for me to allow my emotions to come as I'm feeling them. So if I feel sad and I've mentioned this before, I'm out in public, my tears just flow. I don't stop them. I just allow them to pass through. And for me, that takes an incredible amount of courage. Whereas before, I was a wimp. Like I wouldn't show my emotions because I thought it made me look weak and I wanted to look a certain way. And as a consequence of that, I didn't know who I was. I thought I was what I liked to do. So when I got into a car accident, this was a very long time ago, I used to be an athlete, like a big time athlete. I ran, I boxed, I played tennis, I did all those things. And if you asked me who I was, I'd say I'm a runner, I'm a tennis player, I'm a boxer, and everything was physical. But that's not who I was. And it took an accident for me to realize that. And it's so funny, but because it really hit me at an identity level. I had a big time identity crisis. Like I thought, who am I? Why bother living if I can't move at all without hurting? And I started taking a painting class at that time because I was so depressed. I watched Chinese movies because they were depressing, the ones I chose. And I took a painting class and it started to open me up to possibility. Like, what else is out there? Maybe I'm more than my body. Oh, what a concept. Maybe I'm more than this shell. Yeah, turns out I am. And it turns out you are too. So, what I want to say is it's so important to start asking yourself, not who am I necessarily, because I think we all are everything. We all have every single characteristic within us. But what do I want? What do I want right now? And yeah, it might be ice cream, it might be something unhealthy, it might be alcohol, it might be whatever. Have sex with 10 strangers. But if you keep asking yourself that and you keep paying attention to how you feel in your body, okay, what do I want right now? And the more you do this, the deeper it will get. Like you'll get to, like, say at first you start and you're like, well, I want a Porsche. And then the next time you're like, well, I really want enough money so I feel safe. And then you're like, well, I really want enough money so that I can give back and so that my life has meaning. And the more you do this, the deeper you'll get. And you find these layers of yourself where you're like, wow, I'm kind of kick ass. Like, I didn't realize I was this deep. But you are. So play with it and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want right now? What do I want next week? What do I want my life to be like? What do I want to say? Or what do I want people to say about me at my funeral? That's a really good exercise. If you haven't done that one, I highly recommend it because it gives you insight. Like, what would people say about you now? If you were to die today, what would people say about you? I don't want you to die like that. Like, I had a client who said nobody came to her mom's funeral. Nobody came. She was not a nice person, and nobody came. Well, I don't want that to be you. I want people to come in droves and say, he or she was the best person. They were always there for me. They were so generous. They would give me the shirt off their back. Whatever it is that you want to be known for, I want people to say that. And in order for them to say that, you get to start stepping into it, which takes courage and it takes authenticity. Now, for me, I wouldn't even admit that I had dreams like that. Like, I had I had this index card. I found it in an old jewelry drawer, a drawer with jewelry I never wore, and it said, "I am an inspirational public speaker." And I found it 20 years later. Guess how much public speaking I had done up until that point? That much. And I was always trapped in this, well, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to share. So guess what? I was blessed with an addiction. So I got to kick that addiction in the ass. And that's part of my platform. I talk about my story. I talk about what I went through, what led me up into that, like the trauma that I experienced, and what it took for me to get sober, and who I've chosen to become now. And it's not a journey of perfection. Holy crap. I was the slowest learner on the planet when it came to everything, I swear. Everything life related, anyways. I was so slow. And I still catch myself like, oh crap, there it is. And I had a conversation with someone the other day, like, she thought, I've done so much work on myself, and yet here's this thing again. I'm like, well, the things that are our triggers will always be there. So when they pop up, kind of expect it. Like, okay, of course you're here. Hello, how's it going? And play with it, have fun. But don't beat yourself up because you're not further along, because that's comparison, right? You're comparing yourself to some ideal that you think you should be, right? I mean, we've all done it. I still catch myself now and then comparing, and I'm like, oh, comparison. Quickest way to misery. Compare yourself to somebody else. Either, doesn't matter if you feel better than somebody else or worse than someone else. If you're comparing, you feel separate. And when you feel separate, you're not in love. In love with yourself, in love with life, in love with everybody else. In divine love, you're not operating from that. If you're in comparison, you're operating from fear. And I found that out, and I still continue to find it out on a regular basis. So my encouragement to you is to really tap in. What do you want? What do you want to be known for or as? What do you want people to say about you when you die? Why not create that now? Create it now. Life is now. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow or even 5 minutes from now, right? So create it now. Become that person that you want to be right now. And you focus on what characteristics that kind of person has. And you just commit to those every day. Like, okay, today I'm committed to creating compassion, love, connection, intimacy, vulnerability, power, courage, whatever it is. Just commit to it. But don't pick all of them. Just pick 2 or 3 a day. And what I would love is for you to drop any nuggets of wisdom you got in the comments below. And DM me and let me know if you are willing to write your eulogy. Like, okay, here's what I want people to say about me when I die. It's a really good exercise. Highly recommend it. All right, thanks for watching. I love you. Mwah!